Hey everyone, welcome back to Identifying God's Best. It's me, Stephen, and today we're bringing you a special episode where our friends Luke and Judy are going to share how they identified God's best in each other.
Hi, I'm Luke.
And I'm Judy.
And we are the Shyus, and this is a special segment of Identifying God's Best.
Yes, we started dating in 2017, and then we got married about 2.5 years ago in 2019, and we are now expecting our firstborn coming in June of this year, and we are very, very excited about it.
Super excited, yes. And for this special segment, we've been asked to share a little bit about how we were able to identify that we were God's best for one another. So I can start. Just even before we were dating, Judy and I first met actually in San Diego at our church, Redeemer's Grace Church. And we are actually 6 years apart. So at the time that she first came to college, I was already graduated and working. But over the years, we were able to get to know each other better, and we developed a friendship together. And I was able just to see over time just how much Judy really loves the church, really desired to serve the church. She was getting involved in leading some of the small groups for the college women of our church. And that was super exciting just to see how much she was growing in that, how much she had a desire to build up the younger women. She was discipling some of the women as well. And so I think for me, that was just super encouraging over and over again to see how much she really cared about some of the fellow sisters in the church. Second thing that I really was encouraged by was just her support for the leadership of the church. At the time, and even now, I am serving in part of the leadership at our church. And Judy also helps to serve as one of the admin assistants at our church. And so she'll take notes for the leadership and during meetings and send out emails and communication. And there was a period of time where she was sending out emails to us, and in her emails, there'll be like a short segment, a little blurb where she would share some encouragements and how she was encouraged by us and things that she was praying for us. And I just thought that was super neat, that this was a girl who was not only serving, being involved, but she was actively encouraging and really being supportive of not only the church as a whole, but for each and every one of us as leadership. And I think that just really was encouraging to see.
Yeah, and I think for me, serving under the leadership of our church, and even specifically serving under Luke's leadership in our college ministry through small group leading, as Luke mentioned, I really appreciated his wisdom and leadership, how he really sought to build up his team and those that were serving alongside him and with him, and how he even genuinely cared for each individual member of the church. Not just me, but just everybody that was around him, and seeing his generosity and how he was able to care for people as well. And I think when we started dating, I got to see that even more so in his leadership in our relationship, and how he was able to lead me, how he was able to just be an encouragement to me and to challenge me to grow in different ways in my life. I always am thankful for his firm yet gentle exhortations to me when I'm struggling with my emotions or when I'm anxious, that he is always faithful to not let me get away with sin, but that he is tender and how he's able to encourage me to pursue holiness in everything that I do, whether that's excellence in ministry or school or work, or if that's controlling my emotions or whatever it is, that he has just always been a good leader in supporting me and encouraging me and even challenging me in my sin.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, when we were dating, there was a lot of things going on at the time, but I think something that was super encouraging during the time we were dating, Judy was going through a lot of different changes, taking on a lot of new responsibilities. She just started grad school. She was taking on more ministry opportunities in the church to serve in the women's, helping write a book in the church, and all sorts of fun, exciting things, but definitely a lot to kind of take on. And so I think there was, for her specifically, just a lot of struggles and things that she was working through. A lot of times where it was really difficult, maybe some tears there and some emotions, but just to really see that even through it all, Judy always had a really strong desire to serve the church. And I think something that was super encouraging was that even when it was difficult, even when she still struggled with it, that over time I could see over and over again that she was consistently growing in her capacity to serve, growing in her desire and love for the church and the things that she was doing, and appreciating it all the more. And so that made it really easy for me to kind of see, wow, this is a woman who really is really neat, really someone who wants to serve the Lord, serve the church, and thought, hey, this would be a great wife. And I think something else that really, just a couple things too, was that early on in the relationship, I also realized that even when Judy was still in college and about to graduate, that she was already thinking about marriage. And I thought that was super neat too, because most college girls these days are not thinking about marriage, they're thinking about career and where they want to go and move home, whatever it is. But here was a girl who really was thinking about marriage, and that was really encouraging too, because here was like, wow, she sees marriage as a blessing. And at the same time, she also sees children as a blessing, because Judy loves children. She always loves spending time hanging out, playing with the kids at church. And I thought that was super neat too, because I do think children are a blessing from the Lord. I can't wait till our baby comes. First of many, hopefully. But that just made it all the more easier for me to see, hey, I think this is God's best for me.
Yeah, and these last couple years of marriage have been really fun in being able to get to know each other more and being able to see how Luke continues to grow in his ambition in leadership, in his wisdom, in his desire to grow in godliness. And it's been really cool to be able to see how he is all out for God and for Christ and the ministry of the church. And I'm super excited to continue to grow together in being able to serve alongside each other, and especially as we are preparing for our child coming very soon, I'm excited to be able to see how Luke will continue to grow in his leadership as a father, as a husband, and yeah, as our family grows. I think that's a really fun and exciting new season of our life that we're looking forward to.
Yes, definitely super exciting. Marriage, honestly, has been so fun. I love marriage. I think it's super cool just to be able to get to know each other better all the time, just be able to spend a lot of quality time together, to worship as a family together. And that's just super encouraging. Even in these last 2.5 years, just really seeing how much Judy has been growing. I think one thing she really does excel in is just being a helper. She's always super supportive of my ministry. Just when I'm prepping lessons or teaching or preaching, she's always really encouraging. She's always praying for me. She's always supporting me, coming, just saying hi and just checking in on me, just making sure I have snacks and things to drink or whatever it is, taking care of things around the house, even when I'm running around in meetings and all sorts of things. And that's on top of, Judy has her own ministry responsibilities, and I think she really does support me so much. I know a lot of times I'm away from the home a lot just to kind of do different things, leadership meetings, and she's always very patient and understanding, even when it's hard for her. And I think that's super encouraging. It really encourages me just to want to be excellent in my ministry. And so that's super neat to see in Judy's life, in our marriage, and really just to see how much she's just contributed to really support and pray for me throughout our marriage. And I think that's just been so encouraging. One thing she really also does that's super good and encouraging is just how she's able to appeal to me during times where we maybe disagree, we maybe have different perspective on things, that she doesn't demand her way. She's always very patient, very calm and gentle, and how she presents things is not combative. And I think that's always super encouraging, because she really looks to my leadership and she tries to share her perspective in ways that really add into my leadership and supporting my leadership, even when we disagree. And that makes it that much easier for me just to really lead her. And I think that's something that we're still growing in, but we really been able to see that grow more and more in our marriage and communicating well. And so that's been super exciting. So yeah, that is our story about how we were able to identify that we were God's best for each other. Hopefully you can comment below in the comment box if you have any comments, like, subscribe for more videos like this.
And tune in next time for the next video on identifying God's best.
And so we are the Shyus, and we will see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
You're smiling at me. It's just
Same
so
smile.
derpy.
Derpy. All right.
And we will see you next time. No, we won't.
Because we are special guests. We are
Tune
not your regular
in
programming.
next time.